Max sent me a few images of his friend Jeff as well as himself. So let's see if I can offer some tips. This image here is very nice. It's very simple. The background's very basic. Kind of works. You know, you have a little bit of that, a little bit of the mess on the wall there, but it works. It's kind of that urban look. My only thing is because there's so many lines, it's what draws me, and I need to make sure that all of these lines are straight. So what I do in Lightroom is I will get these lines here and I'll just draw. That's not it at all. There we go. So I'm going to make... So I know that should be level. So what I'm doing is I'm going, hey, picture, let's make sure that one is level. You actually don't see it level until you make at least two straightening lines. So I'm going to do another one here because I know that one there should be, I'm assuming should be level. And you'll notice it already starts improving the perspective. Now there's a whole bunch of vertical lines, so I will hope that whoever did the masonry work on this wall did it straight enough that I'm just going to try to follow these lines here. There we go. All right, so here we go. This is Jeff. Jeff looks great. The light's nice and diffused. Compositionally, we always hear that, hey, you follow the rule of thirds, you know, and the rule of thirds is you take an image, you cut it in threes vertically, and you cut it in threes horizontally, and wherever those lines, those cut lines are, wherever they intersect, that's where you want your subject, your interest to be. Well, in this particular example, you can kind of break those rules and it'll work really well. Now, let's center Jeff on this one here. The aspect ratio is what image... Why can't I talk this evening? I don't understand. I don't get it. Some people who shoot with the DSLR, most of the time, the aspect ratio of that's going to be 2:3. Okay, so there we go. I just want to make sure that we have Jeff kind of centered like right in the image right there. So that right there is the shot. Looks good. Now, because I know, Max, you're really trying to learn a lot about photography, and I applaud you. Good job, my dude. So I'm going to look at this a little bit more critically. I am noticing that wall is pretty sharp, except... So the wall is in focus. It might be hard to tell here, and I know it's going to be difficult to tell on Instagram, but the wall is in focus. You can tell the texture's there, but Jeff is ever so slightly out of focus, so he's a little soft. You can see there's not, there's a little bit of a loss of detail in the facial features, like the hair. So when you take pictures, just be cognizant of that. You know what? I'm gonna put that stylus down. I'm gonna talk about this image a little bit. So we have Jeff, full body portrait image here. He's bending some things. Bending is nice. It's good. If you've got things you can bend them. See how they look. Some people, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tip here. Some people, when they cross their arms, some of them look awkward. Their arms are not long enough to do it. It looks good on this here. So just be aware that when you cross your arms, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So this is the full body portrait that we have here of Jeff. I see people do this where they'll take a picture, but then they'll cut parts like this. Oh my God, you're so good. But look at his feet, just right over there. You know what? Zoom out just a little bit and don't cut the feet. Kind of the rule of thumb is don't cut anything that bends. If you want just like the upper part of the body, you don't want to crop at the knees. See that? So just kind of go halfway in between. So right about there, that's a good, if you like this crop, that's a good place to crop. And then if you zoom in here, it won't zoom in anymore, but let me see. I just so happen to have 2x4s here. So of the above shot, that's your image right there. If you decide that that's what you want to do. But in this one here, you purposely picked a full body shot. Good job. So that's what you have. Great light. It's It looks good. Good job, Max. Max, I know you sent a few more. Hey, look at that. We zoomed in. Okay, all right. So let's check this one out. So here's Jeff. This is Jeff, and this time he nailed the focus. Looking good, dude. Now, for those of you guys who photograph with SLR cameras and you shoot with these these high aperture lenses, so then that way your depth of field is so tight. You got to be careful because when you take a picture, a lot of times the tip of the nose can be in focus or the ear is in focus, and you lose focus on the eyes. And for me, that's just like, oh, so close. You want to make sure always the eyes are in focus, and they look pretty good here. Whoa, holy moly! Look at those eyes. They're crazy blue. Holy crap, Jeff, dude. All right, well, so let's change this one because Instagram requires our image to be either 1:1 or a max of 4:5. Let's get to the 4:5 crop. There we are. There we go. I don't know if you guys saw that. There's the rule of thirds. There's some very faint lines here, and those very faint lines, those talk about the rule of thirds that I was mentioning earlier. I want his eyes to be on one of the rule of thirds lines here. Okay, let's go look at this image. Embiggen. The image looks good. Good natural smile. He's not over smiling. This is good. Now the only thing is there's a little bit of dirt that I think we can clean up on that wall behind Jeff here. So let's select this thing here. How large is my Band-Aid tool? Here we go. Notice all of those red marks start to go away. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. I don't see any other red marks in the back. Good job with this image. Looks good. He already has kind of like the lighting on just part of his face. It's ever so slightly a little bit of a hot spot right here on his forehead. You know what? It looks natural, but I just want to see if I can play around with that just a smidge by decreasing the highlights just a little. Oh yeah, you know what? So because I was sent JPEGs, which thank you very much. I don't want my inbox to get full. If I was sent the raw files, I'd have more latitude here with which to edit these. But there we go. There we are. I just want to see if I can remove a little bit of that hotspot. So that was what I did. There's the after. Okay, again, before you can see super bright over there. And then after. There we are. Okay, so good job. Man, let's look at these eyes again. You don't notice this unless you're zoomed in here, but they are just magnificently blue. Let's see if I can play around with that. Let's do selective little circle thing here. Try to just highlight the eyes a little bit. And then bring out the exposure. So I'm going to amplify this, right? Okay, that's just like not right looking, but you can see it's blue right there. I just want to give it just a little bit of a pop. There we go. Okay. Remember, you got to make sure that it is still kind of natural looking. So here we are. Duplicate that. Bring it to the other. Alrighty, there we go. Big fan of making sure that the eyes pop when you photograph someone, which is why I like catch light so much. So there we go. Looks good. All right, here we go. Okay. What would I do with this? Okay, so first off, this one here, there's a bunch of negative space. The thing is because Jeff is looking this way. He's looking in this vector here to his right, graphically image left, because he's looking over there. What's happening is you're drawn more to this space. That means everything behind him here just becomes negative space, useless space, not negative space. It becomes useless space back here. So my first recommendation here is to tighten the crop. Hey, we want to put it on Instagram, so let's do that 5:4, right? I'm going to change this from a landscape to a portrait orientation. There we go. There we are. A little bit better. What is distracting to my eye? I'll tell you right now. It's this. Whatever, is that a chimney stack, or is that part of the, it's not part of the window. So tell you what, let's go ahead, use this little tool, spot heal. Oh man, that was just really massive. I should not have spot healed with such a large spot healing tool selection size. I get sloppy when it comes to these edits here. God, I'm spending way too much time on that. Okay, and then let's go ahead. Let's see if we can kind of remove that. Good pose. Works out okay. Man, these are cool suspenders. Those are cool suspenders. All right, so there we go. Just work on the crop on that. Because the background is so out of focus, it works really well because it's not a distracting background. But you know what? When you zoom in, you actually really see his reflection. I mean, like, look at that. You see his face. So that's pretty cool. He's, hey, I wonder about life right now. I'm gonna remember this moment when I'm outside. Maybe I'll be stuck inside for a while. I'm gonna remember this moment. I hope, Jeff, that you remember this moment. All right. So this is the crop that I would recommend, Max, you start with.